Should former President Donald Trump decide to throw his hat back into the ring, back into electoral politics, seek the nomination in 2024 for the Republican Party, and try to once again become president? That is the question that we pose to all of you. This topic doesn't seem like it's going to go away, particularly after the former president's remarks at CPAC, which we detailed here earlier in the week. And we asked all of you, we sent all of you, for those of you who subscribe to our newsletter at informedamerican.com, and I encourage you all to do so to get real smart news in your inbox every single day, and you can get notified about these videos. So what are you waiting for? And we also posed this question, a poll question, in fact, to our Facebook group at facebook.com/theinformedamerican. If you're not a member of that group, I'd encourage you to head on over after watching this video to join that group. Great conversation for all of you. And we got some surprising results, I think, for the poll. Not quite what I expected. Now, before I get to your responses, if you don't know my stance on this, I will briefly outline it for you. Should President Trump run again, and will he run again, I guess are two different questions. But I think, for myself at least, I come to the same, which is no. I don't think he will. And I don't think he should, and I think the reason why is many faceted. But one, he is former President Trump, love him or hate him, is basically public enemy number one. And running for president again, I don't think it's a good idea for him. As some of your responses have, some of them have highlighted some of my reasons in there, so I'll get to that. I think his role is best to the path that I think he is actually going down, which is to remain a fundraising giant for the Republican Party. No, he is not going to form his own political party. He put that notion to bed at CPAC. He is not forming the Patriot Party. He is sticking with the Republican Party. And I think that's a wise move for him. I think he's better left a little bit behind the scenes, maybe to go for make some appearances for candidates at their rallies and events. I think that's a good role for him, being a cheerleader. I think also as someone who can filter out the candidates, maybe those are running for the House or the Senate, or indeed others who are running in 2024. Now, he may, of course, you never know with Donald Trump, very unpredictable, and he likes to keep things unpredictable. And I think that's why many are. He in his speech at CPAC, he hinted that he may run again. I think he said, "I will beat them for a third time." But I think the better role for President Trump, for Donald Trump, is to be the kingmaker of the Republican Party. And you need to win his endorsement, not some of the other traditional establishment party bosses. But no, you need Donald Trump. And I think that's a good role for him. I think a better role for him than running again for president. And the other thing, too, there might be some fatigue associated with Donald Trump, although many people support him. The former president does come with a bit of baggage. Let's call it that. And many people enjoyed his fights with the press, but you sort of are left with the position of maybe having to defend President Trump when you otherwise would not want to, simply because the mainstream media is insane. And maybe it is time for some new blood, but some of you disagree. Going to get to your comments, but first a quick word. Many of you have been fans of Bill O'Reilly. Of course, he's a former Fox News host. He is still out there and working. He's got an interesting video that we found here called "During Market Chaos, Bill O'Reilly says to follow the stock recommendations of this man." So I'm going to put the link down there below if you're interested in checking that out. Fans of Bill O'Reilly, or for those investors in the stock market who may be interested in this content. So put the link down below. Check it out if you're interested. Would love it if you did. And now to your responses. And this was the question: Should Donald Trump run for president again in 2024? Many of your responses you send those to info@informedamerican.com. You can always write to us your thoughts on the news of the day, and might be an interesting topic for me to discuss here on the show. Always encourage feedback, as I have said. This is really your show. This is your show. We love to get your comments, love to get your feedback. We want to have a little discussion here in this small corner of the internet. We are a small independent media company, and we love getting all the support we get from all of you. Love knowing your thoughts and trying to keep our finger on the pulse. Now, the final results of the poll, well, not final, but you can still go ahead and vote. But at current Should Donald Trump run for president in 2024? 62% say yes, 38% say no. And I got to be honest, I thought that 62% number would be much higher. I would have thought many of you would have said yes, he should run again. So maybe this is, as I say, keeping your finger on the pulse. Maybe this is maybe an early indicator, and maybe if we pose this question 6 months from now, maybe that 62% number would drop even farther. I would have expected at the outset of this that we would have gotten much higher percent saying yes. Although we are independent here, I would say the majority of our readers and viewers lean conservative, but we do have many independents, many Democrats, and so I thought that was interesting. Just 62%, yes, just a majority, but. I mean, if we had asked this a month ago, it might have been 75%. So maybe this is a bit of an indicator of public sentiment here. So we reached many people. Many of you voted. So great stuff there. Thank you for doing that, and thanks for keeping me informed on your thoughts about Donald Trump's chances in 2024. Maybe this is the early sign that 2024 will not be his year, and being that fundraising guy, that kingmaker, the man pulling the strings a bit behind the scenes in the Republican Party. And for those of you, who don't like the Republican Party bosses, Donald Trump certainly has a large following, and maybe that's a better way to reform the Republican Party, because I know many of you are fed up with it, and I know many Democrats are also fed up with your party as well. So getting some new blood in there, getting some different perspectives, I think is a good thing. So here are your responses. This one comes from Ron B. Republicans should pick a better, less abrasive candidate, and possibly a woman like former U.S. Representative to the UN that has been rumored to possibly run for president. She represented the U.S. very well in the UN and showed stronger leadership qualities than Trump. She has the buck stops here attitude. Now, I think, Ron B., you're referring to Nikki Haley, who has been floated as a 2024 nominee. She has big support from the Republican Party establishment, but as I mentioned earlier in the week, I believe she only got 6% at the CPAC straw poll. I don't think Nikki Haley is supported by the base. She has strong support in the GOP establishment, 100%. That's absolutely true. I don't know, but I don't think Nikki Haley is going to be the nominee. But I would expect her to run in 2024, and I would expect her to get some support and probably be possibly a vice presidential pick. So. Nikki Haley is certainly someone to keep their eye on. Thomas C. says, without a doubt, he was the worst president in the history of the Republic, even worse than Buchanan, Harding, and Nixon. God save us from him. So, yeah, Thomas C., one of the 38% that said no. Dorothy G. says, he'll be too old and not a good role model as a president. Makes our country look bad. Anyone who would vote for him would be a lowlife. Okay, Dorothy G., laying the hammer down. Now, apart from everyone voting for him being a lowlife, I think the age factor is one to consider. He'll be near 80 in 2024. And as we see, Joe Biden is 78. I mean, certainly, Joe Biden is not the same man he was 4 years ago or 8 years ago. It's been a rapid transformation, let's say. So, yeah, I think age is a concern. I really don't. Trump was almost too old, now. So I think, yeah, can we get some new blood here? Maybe somebody in their 40s, maybe early 50s. That would certainly be nice. Terry G said he'd be more effective in the House, run in Florida. Yeah, I've seen, I don't know if you've seen this. Let me know if you have. And of course, always we want you to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this topic and some of the other comments and my take on the situation that I've heard. Yeah, he's going to run. What's this idea? Trump's going to run for the House, become a U.S. representative, and then they'll make him Speaker of the House, right? And then after we flip the House and the Senate, we will impeach Biden and Harris, and then that way Trump will become president. Have you heard this one? That's a good one. I don't think that's going to happen. Running for the House, yeah, I don't know. I would say for President Trump, I think that's too small of a job for him, to be quite honest. But interesting idea if he did. Mary P. says he isn't going to run. He's going to pretend like he's going to in order to line his own pockets, grifting money from fools. So it's all going to be a feint, says Mary P. He's just gonna use it as a fundraising effort and then not really run. So interesting take there. Now, I think there is no question in terms of fundraising, Trump has not. He's going to ramp up his fundraising. In fact, he converted his presidential campaign to another super PAC, which would help funnel money to other Republican candidates across the country. Yes, so Barbara M., an adulterous, lying, stealing cheater with only the destruction of America on his mind to pay back Russia for huge loans. His name calling lets you know his maturity level is that of a 13-year-old bully. It will take decades to repair our country. So I think it's safe to say that Barbara M. does not want Trump to win in 2024. Karen says, please, yes, Donald Trump, run for president. Lonnie W. says, I hope he does run because it'll guarantee a loss for the Republicans. Only problem is a convict can't run for office, so Lonnie's not a fan there. Eric P. says, yes, Trump should run for office in 24. He's the best president America's ever had, and he needs to run again to get America back on track. Richard A. says, Trump 2024. Why not? He did more in 4 years than any other president in my lifetime, and I'm 75. Dwayne T. says, Trump is the best hope for America. I don't want a career politician in the White House. Well, you got one. You absolutely got one. Chip R. says, yes, just so he can finish what he started, and I want him to take down the media and the swamp. Yeah. And thanks for the all caps there, Chip. And, to be fair, I heard the phrase, Trump is going to drain the swamp. But as many have said, the swamp drained him. Tough sledding there for anybody who's trying to break up the corruption in Washington, D.C. John T. says, yes, Trump should run again. He's the only one who has the guts to stand up to the socialists in this country. So I didn't want to go through every single reply, but I did want to highlight a little bit of a split there. Of course, the majority are in favor of Trump running again in 2024, but there is a pretty vocal minority there. Again, that split does surprise me, 62 to 38. And so it does remain to be seen what is going to happen with President Trump, if he will, in fact, run again. I do not think he will, and I don't think he should. I think, as I said, his best role will be as kingmaker within the Republican Party, and maybe to get some more America First types, people who are not. I mean, Trump was called a grifter. I think that's fair, but I think, look, the party bosses on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, are absolute grifters. They fundraise for one thing and direct money for another thing. So it'd be interesting to the extent. And I'll ask this question here before we get out of here: can Trump reform the Republican Party? Can he do it? Can he get in there, get the right people in the Republican Party, and maybe change things from within? Because I think that's the complaint. Look, and this was happening during Trump's time in office. You've seen people running for Congress. They're running ostensibly, and Trump having to drag some of these congressional candidates over the line to victory by going out and stumping for them. People who were on board with his agenda, which was popular in the Republican Party and indeed of many Americans. I'm talking about, say, trade, immigration, that stuff, America First type of rhetoric. That would be a good start, wouldn't it? So what do you think? Let me know down below. Can Trump reform the party from within? Or is this thing just a rotten carcass? The anger at the Republican Party is palpable. And many of you have written in and expressing that sentiment. So I want to thank you all for writing in on this important topic. I think, if Trump ran again, that would be wild. And many of you do support it. So thank you for writing in. Thank you for voting on our poll on Facebook. If you're watching here on InformedAmerican.com, please subscribe to our free email newsletter where you can get real smart news. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching here on Facebook, go ahead and vote on the poll and comment down below. We still want to get your feedback. That's facebook.com/informedamerican.com. And if you're watching this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.